it out on the backside. We don't even need Spotify right now because we are into game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. We got ourselves game number 2 between XLNC and BB. And I actually don't have my score set up. How dare I? That's all right. I can fix that here in just a moment because it is a best of 3 series. XLNC 1 up. They're looking at ending the game quickly and make it a clean 2-0 series. And BB obviously interested in turning things around. We casters were just talking behind the scenes for a moment. What am I doing? What am I doing? I haven't even introduced you yet. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My dual caster who is joining me for game number 2 is Jess Express. Welcome. How are you doing, Jess?
I'm doing pretty good. Did quite a little bit of server work. Thought I'd have some fun and jump in a casting game.
That is awesome. We're glad to have you. It's always fun to get a duo cast going on. So we were discussing behind the scenes a little bit about that last game. We want to see the positioning from BB be better this game. They didn't exactly work well as a group. They left their tank when they were trying to team fight, and then they were trying to team fight without their carries. That's not the best situation. So we'll see what they pick this time around if they continue to try to go for that more pick-oriented composition. And if they do, they need to play around those skirmishes better. And they really need to play for vision. XLNC had fantastic vision from the early game. A little bit lackadaisical later, laning phase. But once the laning phase went down, it was vision everywhere. And they did a great job to see if they can pull that off this game as well.
So definitely something that we're gonna need from BB is definitely getting their head in the game for this one. Some more strategy on positioning and focusing on grouping.
Yeah, so we've got from the side of XLNC, they banned away the Draven, Yi, and the Azir. Same champions they banned the last game. When you do it right, it feels good, and they obviously, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Gonna ban the same champions, but they grabbed themselves the Rek'sai this time rather than taking the Hecarim, as that was BB's first ban. They also ban away the Jax for that top lane, taking it away from Jhin, who apparently has been doing a fantastic job of him as well in solo queue, and then they take away Applause's Galio as well. Some of those engage from XLNC have been taken off the table, but Kai'Sa still available. That was one of the best carries of last game, but this time they're going to grab Caitlyn as a counter to the Vayne, who was first locked by BB.
Yeah, so I guess they're taking the risk in first locking Vayne and getting that counter. They're really going to have to play safe unless Sona can get that poke off and sustain. But that Caitlyn's really going to... It looks like bot lane's going for a really aggressive comp. So they might have a tough lane.
So it's Sona, Vayne locked in first. That means they have to feel comfortable on those champions, as you said. It's aggressive. They must be ready and willing to play that into practically anything. And so you're looking for engage. You're looking for Sona to be trying to position perfectly for that ultimate to set up Vayne to get a condemn, layer that CC chain, and then find those kills. And Vayne is a great late game champion. Even if she goes down a time or two in the early game, by the time you get to 25-30 minutes into the game, Vayne will still come online. That true damage will still be effective. So good stuff there. And then talking about aggressive going forward, they grab the Kled as well. So it is at this point all forward from BB. There's no looking back. We're just diving you straight forward. And for the side of XLNC, they're going to grab themselves the Vel'koz, Demonius. Once again, his favorite champion to play. We'll have that in the mid lane.
Yeah, so he'll definitely have some great disengage for their hard engage with the knock-ups, the slow, a little bit of poke, and even an ulti in case things go really sour.
Alright, and with that, the Braum and Camille banned away from BB, pinching that top lane and support pool a little bit more, making sure that Jhin still has to play something. I'm fascinated by the fact they didn't ban the Vladimir, but Kled is a decently strong champion into Vladimir, heavy engage, and good punish from the early game. So that may be one of those things they say, we don't have to ban the Vladimir because there's no way you're going to play the Vladimir into our Kled, so you have to play something else, as they grab the Nocturne for the jungle. Again, it's all forward, all aggression. Okay, at this point, I'm now thinking, who mid lane can they play that's just 100% forward dive? Like what mid laner just
Zed.
goes for? Oh, yeah, it's true. Zed definitely with that ultimate available. Who else.
But it depends, right? Depends on their mid laner because they have the Vel'koz. And now we give them some mobility to get to the Vel'koz, right?
And they also grabbed themselves the Vladimir for the top lane for XLNC. So apparently they have no problem playing Vladimir into Kled. But they baited and took the bluff and said, you know what, let's do it. And they're going to grab themselves the Nautilus as well for that bottom lane. I actually like this a lot from Applause, because when you're looking at the aggression from BB, what you need to have is disengage. You need people that can say, hold on a second, you don't get to go that far forward. And Nautilus's passive auto attack will root people, then has the ultimate for multi-man knockups if you put it on the right person, and you don't have to be ranged to land the hook. If Nocturne is diving in on your Caitlyn, you can wait for that spell shield to drop off and then hook them, and that is at least 1.5 seconds of CC that will delay his engage from actually trying to take down the Caitlyn. So I like this pick, but again, aggression, diving forward, they're gonna grab the LeBlanc for the mid lane. You got 1 dash, I got 2 dashes, I got 3 if I add in my flash as well. So they're feeling pretty good. I think the only other champion that could maybe do more than LeBlanc diving forward is Ahri, who's got her own 3 auto flashes and then can add a 4th of the flash itself. Crazy aggression from BB coming out.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot of confidence on both sides with their champions, and definitely the Nautilus would be a huge meat shield, and like you said, disengage, and the insane CC plus the ulti knockup, and the Rek'sai can follow behind and also CC for that.
And that's the thing that you're talking about when it comes to the tanky front line of the Nautilus, is not only is XLNC going to have the Nautilus, they're going to have the Vladimir as well. Both going to be that beefy frontliners when you get to the mid game. Once again, like last game, BB ran 1 tank in the top lane, the Cho'Gath. This time, they're not even running that. They're running Kled, who's kind of at the bare minimum an off-tank bruiser. Even if he builds full tank, which is not what he wants to build. He wants to build damage, he wants to build your AD engage, but even if he does try to build full tank, that's not going to be what BB needs to have a tanky front line. So they are putting all the chips in to trying to pick off XLNC players when they're out of position before they can truly group as 5 and fight as a 5-man. And because of that, they're going to just need to be on top of their vision 100%, because you have to have vision if you're looking for picks, and their team comp is a pick-oriented comp 100%.
Yeah, and I definitely think that they're really going to have to heavily rely on the Vayne, especially because Vayne will be the one that can peel through the tanks. So they'll have to heavy peel for the Vayne, and LeBlanc will probably have to at least get a pick off on at least Vel'koz or Caitlyn for them to be able to have a sustainable team fight.
Alright, so with the minute remaining, we're going to run through the players and their champions very quickly, and then get to discussing XLNC, because we've been mostly talking about BB so far. For the side of XLNC, we got Jhin playing the Vladimir in the top lane, Mike Oxmal Bros with the Rek'Sai in the jungle, Demodius the God on his favorite champion, that Vel'koz in the mid lane, Hurricanes on the Caitlyn AD carry, Applause with the Nautilus support. For the side of BB, you've got Beefy Johnson on the Kled in the top lane, Marios with the Nocturne in the jungle, Remove Pants taking LeBlanc in the mid lane, Trey on the Vayne AD carry, and Nyanya trying to make some people do the Nyanya cat dance with the Sona in the bottom lane supportive role. What are your thoughts, Jess, on XLNC? What are their pros? What are their cons? What do they need to do to just make it a clean 1-2 sweep in this series?
They're definitely gonna have to rely on protecting the Caitlyn and focus on disengaging the hard engage, as well as maybe getting a pick off on the Vayne.
Pick that Vayne off before she can get super strong, which means maybe even some early ganks to try to shut her down. And I like that, especially from the side of Rek'Sai. We saw it last game on the side of BB with some really good engage in that bottom lane, but being able to use that flash, get those knockups, set up for the team. When you look at the Caitlyn and the Nautilus, they're going to bring a lot of their own CC. A level 3 gank from the Rek'Sai on a squishy Sona and a squishy Vayne. That is huge. As long as you get the knockup on one, you're going to get a kill. If you get a knockup on both, you might get a double kill in that bottom lane. because you've got the Rek'sai knock-up immediately into the Caitlyn Yordle snap traps, which are going to layer that CC, plus, of course, Nautilus' hooks, slows, and all of the rest. So, on the side of BB, they're obviously looking tense, but where do you think they should pressure most this game to make the best use of their composition?
They're definitely going to have to go in and feed that Vayne and try and get her as huge as possible. That's, I think, what they need to focus on, especially because it looks like they're focusing on hard engage and late game, as well as busting those tanks down. Definitely Nocturne's going to have to get an assassination every time his ulti is up, at least on Caitlyn or the Vel'koz.
Yeah, so he's going to have to hard farm in that jungle, look for the level 6 so that he can be making those plays, and with those rotations, join the team. But again, sometimes we have seen those snowball potential out of teams on the early side that can give them that early advantage, and they can just carry it into a win in the later stages of the game. Either way, it is going to be game number 2 for the Immortal Gaming Diamond Series. Here we go. Looks like a 5-man stack from BB, looking for a invade. They were expecting something from the side of XLNC, who are playing defensively. They're sitting, doing their, once again, 5-man, 5-point defense. It is an Infernal Drake to start the game off, so that'll be a pretty spicy target for these junglers to try to focus down.
Definitely a lot of team fight potential and action that we would see happen there. They're really going to have to rely on their bot lane control, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's something that I want to keep my eyes on for the side of BB, is this Vayne. If she gets fed, she could take over this game. But how to get there? Last game, a bit too aggressive, meant the jungler could come in a couple of times, get a couple of kills, get Hurricanes in position to be able to kind of stifle anything that Trey wanted to do. So what are they going to do differently this game to keep Trey alive, and maybe wait for that Nocturne to hit 6 so that he can be the one making those ganks in the bottom lane and setting up Vayne for those kills?
I think a way to do that is probably the Nocturne's Fear is really helpful for that CC in the bot lane, as well as Sona's ulti that she's gonna have at level 6, and her Condemn. That'll be a lot of CC that they can utilize to their advantage. They'll still have to play really safe because the the Nautilus still has heavy CC.
That is, yeah, exactly. Sorry, I'm kind of distracted by thinking about Sona's CC, but we got it engaged. It's Nautilus is going to find the root, the flash as well from the Sona, so she lives for the moment, but Hurricanes could just flash auto her. Hurricanes deciding not to do that. I'm really surprised by Caitlyn not making that engage, as the flash and the heal were already burned by both members. But maybe they're looking at just shoving the Vayne and Sona off of the wave so they can play the long con game, as Demonius is going to get a little bit of pressure on Remove Pants with a nice trade in the mid lane. Alright, on the top side, the Vladimir versus Kled, one of those, fights that both are going to be seeing what they can do. They can take a bit of a beating each, as Kled's going to get the resets. Hold on, I can't talk about that because there's potentially an engage from Nautilus in the bottom lane. The flash forward from the Nocturne to try to set up this fight. Nyanya should go down. First blood over to Caitlyn. Now they can turn on to Trey, but Barrios is here. The flash from Hurricanes is got to get this kill with the Pillar of Peacemaker. There it is, 90 caliber net. The spell shield keeps the Nautilus left for a moment, but that is 3 kills down for XLNC into the bottom lane. Double kill for Hurricanes and a kill for Plaza as well. LeBlanc heading to the bottom lane, Remove Pants, but she rethinks her situation, jumps over the wall just to try to pick up that wave as it's crashing onto that turret. And that is a great start for XLNC at the end of the game.
It's definitely not what they wanted for Vayne at all for that. That's really going to put them behind and give a huge gold lead for bot lane.
Well, on top of that, there's also, as you can see by these tunnels, Rek'sai is invading the enemy jungle, clearing that as well. So not only are they losing kills to the Caitlyn in the early game, once again, Hurricane starting off the game with the BF sword, but they also have Rek'sai invading and stealing away Nocturne's jungle camp that he desperately needs to hit that level 6. That is Nocturne's best tool, is the long-range ultimate into the fear. But if he doesn't have that level 6 for a very long time, that is going to just slow this game down, and they cannot afford to slow the pace of the game. They have to put that pedal down, and it's 100% aggression. He's going to try to 1v1 Jin on the top side, but he's a level down. He's going to go in anyway, get the fear. Spell Shield's going to be popped. He's got a good damage down. Vladimir going to go ahead and pool and just decide to flee. So that means that Nautilus has defended the top lane turret for Kled to get back in time, as he does not have teleport. So a little bit of opportunity for Nautilus just to, or sorry, for Nocturne to hold the
Nocturne.
Oh, hold on, Sona once again caught out. So squishy, goes down. Applause, picks it up. I don't even think that was Ignite. That might have just been a passive auto to pick up that kill on Sona again in the bottom lane. This is just so tragic for PB's bottom lane.
That Caitlyn is sitting large along with the Nautilus with 2 kills up and 2 assists on both with 150 gold shut down.
The burst damage from Beefy Johnson. Did you see that? That was just Kled going 100% in, way over aggressive teleport from Jin to a ward. Maybe next time we think about jumping to the tower instead and just falls. That is really nice, as BB needs everything they can get back into this game.
Yeah, that Kled's really gonna make it or break it for them if he keeps it up at the top lane. They need any kind of gold they can get right now, considering the huge gold lead that was just handed to the opposing team.
In that bottom lane right now, the Caitlyn sitting on 800 gold. Here comes Kled, level 6, engaging into the mid lane. Demonia's gonna flash the wall to join the Nautilus and the Rek'sai. Picking up a kill onto the Nocturne. Mario's falls, caught out of position. Demonia's gonna be hooked by the bear trap to sidestep it, to break it, as Applause is still taking away Loli, only level 5. Remove plants on this LeBlanc, still only level 5 as well, so no ultimates available there. Kled not getting anything for his ultimate, just has to head back to the top lane empty-handed. His Hurricane's a little bit of trouble in the bottom lane, but Rek'Sai is here, gets the knock-up. Can they find the kill onto Trey? Piltover Peacemaker does massive damage, and they're going to turn onto Nyanya as well. Nautilus coming in, the flash knock-up from Rek'Sai. That should be enough, giving him a double kill in this bottom lane, and now with 4 members, complete control of the bottom side, they could go for the early Infernal at the 6.5-minute mark.
That's exactly what they want, especially because, you know, I haven't really seen an early Infernal in a long time like this, so it's insanely huge for them, especially because they have a 7-to-1 kill lead and 12.7k opposed to the red side 8.8k.
Oh, Nocturne gonna try to defend. Hold on, he's gonna come in and get hooked up, knocked up as well. Flashes in. He desperately wants to smite the Drake. He's even using the Q, getting every touch of damage he can. And now Vayne says, I'm gonna try it. Ooh, gets within auto attack range. Does take down Rek'Sai. Should be able to kill Applause as well. So that is actually 2 kills back to BB.
And shutdown gold at that.
Yeah,
so that might help a lot for them, considering how behind they've gotten.
LeBlanc level 6 with Demonius as well. LeBlanc's gonna find the root, dancing around Demonius's damage. It's one of the nice things about LeBlanc trying to counter Vel'koz is the high mobility this champion brings. As Jin losing out on this trade and Kled on the top lane once again. I keep in mind this was Jin picking the Vladimir into this Kled, knowing full well that's what he's playing, a unnecessary flash. But you know what? Flash your dominance. It's right. You see, I know that I don't need to flash, but I'm gonna flash anyway. Prove to you that I can do this. And Kled feeling good on this top side as Remove Pants barely escapes death in the mid lane. Demonius, one more Q might pick her up if she's still gonna be setting up that recall.
It seems like the confident picks are really not doing well for both sides. The confident pick with the first pick Vayne and the confident pick with the Vladimir. So this might even out the odds and maybe, hopefully,
make it a bit more of an interesting game.
Yeah.
LeBlanc gonna flash forward. A good barrier by Demonius. Keeps him alive, but the Ignite takes down. Immediate damage. Removes Pants. Yes, will fall. That's an even 1-for-1 in the mid lane. That was so close. A great barrier by Demonius still falls, and Remove Pants does not figure the damage of the minions in as well. Keeping this game interesting. I love it.
It looks like bot lane is high potential to get first tower here. They did get a large amount of gold knocking down those shields. They're really using their advantage.
Yeah, 3 plates down. They could go for all 5 before the 15-minute mark. They were the ones to secure the first turret in the last game. Rek'sai ultimate going to be used onto Marios. The Nocturne trying to do what he can. He's got the spell shield, and a great fear comes down as well. However, Rek'sai can do chase in, but the Kled is here, and LeBlanc actually seals it up. Everyone participating in taking XLNC's jungler down. Now Applause going to be in trouble using the blast cone, but doesn't get over the wall too early. Nautilus, what are you doing? CC 3 different ways and will drop. However, in the meantime, Caitlyn did focus down the turret, securing first turret for XLNC through all of that. So still overall trade victory by BB, but XLNC getting a little bit back. Nocturne level 6, going to be ulting in onto the Vel'koz, who gets good damage down, but can't kill off Nocturne before falling a bit too early on that disintegration ring.
I don't know what hurt that Nautilus more, the wall or the entire team collapsing on him.
Yeah, poor Vel'koz goes down again, and that's something I was going to comment earlier, was great kills from the side of XLNC, but look at who they're on. Yes, the Caitlyn, 2-0-4, fantastic, good, that's what you want. Rek'sai, 2-2-2, that's okay. However, Applause? Someone fill the chat with question mark pings on that flash, because I'm not exactly sure the commitment there, but you know what, that's alright.
Maybe he wanted to flex like Vladimir.
Yes, yeah, like Kled. It was just like, you know what, Kled's flexing, I gotta flex too. 4, 2, and 2 on the support Nautilus is not where you want that gold, not where you want the pressure. And so yes, Nautilus is nice, but if you had those 4 kills, say, on the Vel'koz in mid lane, this game would look very different. As Mike Ox is going to try to make a play onto the Kled in the top lane. Team play drop by the Vladimir. They're both going to be going and seeing what they can do. BP John's knocked off of Scarl and just about gets it back. Jin picks up the kill on the top side. Desperately needed to stop this Kled from completely taking over the top side of the game. Good gank by Rek'sai.
That
now
might look like a Herald.
Onto Rift Herald. Claws and Hurricanes collapsing. There was vision by BB, so they know this has been started up.
Vel'koz stopping it.
Can't just stop the enemy team from pushing, and might go down. Good flash over the wall. We saw a failed flash earlier this time. That'll be success. There's actually nothing Nautilus that failed the flash earlier. Rift Herald will be secured. Rek'sai goes ahead and grabs that, and just that range from Demonius flashing over the wall as well, just to keep BB from trying to compete with that, and they're going to be able to pick up for XLNC a second turret on the top side. Don't even need to drop the Rift Herald just to pick up all those plates.
Jeez, I didn't know it was flashing season.
There you go. A flashing open season. They're going to spot the Rift Herald on the top lane anyway as the wave went down. Nautilus actually taking up the turret a couple of different shots. Shelly goes in, gets the last bit, takes it down. Now in the mid lane, they're trading these turrets. It's a great Nocturne ultimate. Once again, takes down Vel'koz. Almost falls himself. Will they pick up this entire turret in the mid lane? I want to see how long that wave lasts. Shelly is going to start to knock.
It's going to be 1 for 2, definitely.
In the top lane, takes down the second tier turret. Should get a charge onto the inhibitor turret. There's 3 members of BB here to try to defend. Zona, the Vladimir, Zona, the Kled, and LeBlanc. They go in the Rift. Shelly, the Rift Herald, doing what she can. She actually helps assist getting a kill. They're able to take down 2 members, and Vladimir charges in past the turret, tanking up the turret as well. LeBlanc tries to go in, but a great pool sets up for the ace in the hole from the Caitlyn to pick up a kill. In the meantime, that's a double kill there. In the meantime, Vel'koz showed back up in the mid lane, not sticking around too long, trying to take down the first tier turret there. Will fall to Vel'koz's damage. And so he gets trade back. It's a little bit of revenge kill. Top lane inhibitor falls. An XLNC, despite it being a completely chaotic game, are up 6,000 gold and 4 kills.
Yeah, it's insane. 6k, and they also have 4 towers. Rek'sai still hasn't even gotten their first tower, unfortunately. And another thing with that, I think they were really trying to force a tower, but maybe should have backed and helped defend that opening and inhib for blue side is definitely not good.
And also
especially with them being so behind.
Yeah, and dying as well just is the icing on the cake for XLNC. Rek'sai headed to pick up that Mountain Drake, make things even easier. Check it out. We haven't even hit 14 minutes into the game. The side of XLNC have almost secured 100% of turret plating this game. That is actually insane.
Yeah,
at this point.
They have turret plating. They also have an Infernal Drake on their hand. They got a 7k lead. And they're about to gonna get another tower here.
So I am a big fan of the La Casa de Fiesta
and
games.
there's an Earth Dragon.
that are just completely crazy, but you can get a feel that XLNC kind of seems to know what they want to do. They're able to play some macro game at the same time as they're going all over, making these crazy plays. The Nocturne goes in, but he sees 4 people, flashes out. LeBlanc's gonna flash in. The blue buff in the middle of everybody. Remove Pants immediately jumps out. In the meantime, LeBlanc has been able to pick up the kill onto Caitlyn. This integration ray will take down Sona, but there is a Vayne that is starting to pop up. Going in onto Applause, joined by the Kled. Couple more silver bolts might be enough. Jin goes in, takes down Mariosa. Heal from the Nocturne, from Vayne. Keeps the Nocturne alive. The Kled has been able to take down the Nocturne, and they also will get the Vladimir, but it is traded with that Nocturne. In the meantime, though, that is an ace by the side of BB throughout that fight. What incredible positioning. They sacrificed a couple of the squishier members, the Sona and the LeBlanc, to burn pretty much all of the ultimates out of XLNC, and then Kled and Vayne pair up and complete the ace for BB, putting themselves
Yeah, that's exactly what they need to do. Give Vayne all that gold to help her spike. That turnaround is exactly what they need to do. Like, if they can hold that top lane, they might have a chance of coming back into this. Vayne having 5 kills now.
Yeah, that is exactly right. At the 15-minute mark, that's not going to be the end of the world. It's only completed 1 item to Caitlyn's 2. However, if that is a taste of what's to come as the game gets later, things might look a little bit iffy for XLNC. And I think the problem for XLNC was in that fight, they couldn't make a decision as to whether they wanted to commit to fight or leave. You saw the Vladimir and the Nautilus were on the bottom side of the fight. They were headed out. They were saying, all right, it's over. You know, it's all right. They're grouped around that second tier turret on the bottom side. We don't need to fight for this. Let's go ahead and leave. But Caitlyn gets popped by the LeBlanc with a great catch, and the fight kind of just falls apart from there. Now that we've had a breather.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that Caitlyn, as long as they pop off that Caitlyn, like I said, they might be able to turn around this and shut her down. It's like most of the gold and kills are on her, so if LeBlanc can pick her off, and Vayne for the cleanup, it might not look good to them the longer the game starts. So if they push this game to end it as soon as possible, that's their best bet.
The turret sneeze away from falling, so BB decided to back away from that second tier turret on the bottom side. There it is, Caitlyn, the best at being able to poke it down. Also has the fire cannon to make sure that gets that extra range. That's the one thing I think is a little bit unfair about Caitlyn. She's got the longest ADC range of any champion, any ADC champion, and then it gets the rapid fire cannon as well. Nautilus gonna hook up the LeBlanc. Is immediately forced to jump away. Their passive popped as well. Doesn't have flash available. So heads to the fountain. In the last game, similar situation from XLNC. They sieged well, but fought at the Nexus turret and almost got ace. We'll see if they're able to play a bit more defensively this time. Baron isn't even up on the map for another 3 minutes, as they're starting to knock doors down on these second inhibitor turrets, because they've already secured the top lane inhibitor.
7-0. 7-0 on the towers. 7 for the blue side, 0 to the red.
That's the thing.
They really need to defend this.
It's 17 minutes into the game, and there's an open inhibitor on the top side. The open inhibitor on the top is actually about to respawn. It has been that long since they secured it earlier. So there is still a good 6,000 gold lead on the side of XLNC, but they are just biding their time, poking with this Caitlyn and Vel'koz, getting a little bit of chip damage onto these inhibitor turrets.
It looks like they're going for an engage.
Yeah, gonna go ahead and ult and charge in. Nocturne gonna charge to the back line. Caitlyn's gone. Caught up by LeBlanc. Sona's gonna fall by the Vladimir, but that is only the support. And now Demonia's gonna be in trouble. Nocturne chasing him, but a great barrier means that he lives for now. The rest of the team actually able to route the back line of BB. Catch the LeBlanc and the Vayne out. And now they can move in as Kled, the only one to survive. Everyone sacrificed everything to take down Caitlyn, and then they sacrificed their lives as well. That is not what you want. Another inhibitor to fall. However, the top lane has respawned, so that will be 1 inhibitor XLNC is secured at this point.
Yeah, it looks like they can pretty much close this game if they continue this. If they get their Kled.
Rek'sai gonna get the knock up, immediately have to flee. Vladimir trying to get that kill, and it's gonna be Rek'sai ulting in to finish her off before going down herself. And they're gonna back away. XLNC securing that inhibitor. I would have liked to see them instead go for the top lane inhibitor before backing. However, they are going to...
Dragon's about to be up, so it looks like they're rotating to that.
The Nautilus headed there immediately. Caitlyn picking up the red buff before joining with that Nautilus. Vladimir and Vel'koz more focused on recalling, so this could actually be more pickup from BB. LeBlanc gonna get a good bit of catch onto Applause. The Nautilus, not much mana back away, so that is actually going to be the first drink of the game for BB, a mountain drink to even those up.
And they definitely need that mountain drink, especially to catch up and maybe get at least a tower in, or turn around this game with a Baron, if they can get some picks off. Or pull off like they did, get that LeBlanc to jump in on that Caitlyn, and maybe a small hope of Vayne popping off and acing the team.
Well, that's the thing for the side of BB is exactly what you said. Finding those picks off a little bit here, a little bit there. However, they need to make sure that they're not over-committing, and that comes down to vision. You saw everyone from BB diving forward, but there's literally no vision for them besides their own champion. So you dive in, but you don't know what else is coming. And they all got picked up on the back line. At this point, the Nautilus, having been very far ahead early game, still has the highest kills for Team XLNC, which is kind of ridiculous to say, has gotten themselves an Aegis of a Legion as well to be that much more tanky. And the front line of XLNC are starting to come online, looking like we're going to get another big 5-man fight, and that's what XLNC want. Glenn in the front line, charging on in, but he's been picked up as the rest of the team fleeing the scene of the crime. Everyone dropping like fries. Ace in the hole, drops in Yana. The Sona's help down to half immediately. Who needs Baron when you practically ace the enemy team? They're just going to push the mid lane inhibitor.
They're not even going to get the top tower. They're just going to go directly through the bot lane.
Are they going to try to end the game off of the bot lane?
Yeah, I think so. I think they will.
There's only 8 seconds on this Nocturne. LeBlanc, 9 seconds away. The flash from the Nautilus gets themselves a catch onto the Vayne. Take that one down. Nexus first tier turret will fall. The second tier turret as well. Caitlyn just poking away. Sorry, Piltover for Peacemaker doesn't take down turrets. However, Caitlyn gonna go golden. Stopwatch use to stop the Nautilus to engage. Caitlyn with a great 90 caliber net to survive the LeBlanc as well. McCled seeing if he can be the savior that takes down the Caitlyn, and he does. That's a victory for BB, because apparently this game is not about who actually wins, but only about who can kill the Caitlyn, as they're gonna pad this match for XLNC, take it down, or try to take down Sona on the Nexus itself. There it is! Demodius picks up the Sona, and now they will end the game and come out victorious. A clean 2-0 sweep, 12,000 gold in the lead at the end of the game.
That's insane.
What?
And Plus definitely did a flash redemption at the end.
Just to add that extra layer of just look at me go. Just look at me go. I love it. All right, well, that is going to be XLNC, the victors of Game 2 and the series as a whole. Good stuff there. It's been a wild, crazy ride, and I know you just joined us, but give me the breakdown of this game. Like, what are the pros and cons from either team? Is there any players that you want to shout out or moments you want to shout out as you look at the game as a whole, and what are your thoughts on it?
Well, definitely was very chaotic and insane. Like, from the beginning, as soon as I saw that bot lane getting killed over and over, the Vayne and the Sona, I really commend them for keeping their head in the game and really trying to push through that and picking up a kill. That LeBlanc really did make and made a lot of the plays for Vayne and Caitlyn to pick up some team kills to maybe get them into the game, as well as Beefy Johnson coming in and shutting down that Vlad top. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough for the end because, like you said, they were going in blind and overcommitting. They needed to be careful about their picks, and that's what got them in the end.
And when you're a team that is all about going in, if you're the one shoved underneath your Nexus turrets at, what was that, 12 minutes into the game because of the top lane push from XLNC, your decision-making is going to be tough. Nocturne continue to try to make the plays that you want to be making on Nocturne, diving the back line. But look at that scoreline, 1, 8, and 9. Just not successful, have been shut down from the early game on. And talking about in future games, if this happens to you, it was my minor educational moment, if this is what happens to you in a solo queue game at the beginning of the game, your bottom lane, Vayne and Sona both die, your Nocturne's shut down as well, things are not looking good, take a breather. It's okay to just play back, grab a little bit of farm, and instead of just continuing to push that go button over and over and over again, even if you have to give up a little bit to then find the right play, wait for the enemy team to make a mistake and capitalize off of that rather than trying to dive in and just die.
I definitely agree with you on that. I feel like the Vayne could have locked the lane and played a little bit safer after the first kill, and probably try to slow and control that lane down as much as they possible. I think that would have been the best bet, is to slow that lane down, play it back a little bit more safer to avoid ganks, and just wait for that appeals. Like I said, the Sona got caught out quite a bit early game because they were really trying to get that early lead and get really aggressive and trying to get those kills off.
Definitely.
And it just didn't work out.
And then one thing I wanted to note is that this is another moment, if you're playing in your own game and you're losing terribly, here's a little note just from personally myself that I enjoy, is if you can find one aspect about the game to try to be good at, to have fun in that very, very heavy loss game, that is okay. And so even though it looked a little bit crazy, everyone was diving and trying to kill the Caitlyn, I have actually done that in games before where we're losing terribly, the game is basically over, they're moving in to try to destroy the Nexus, and I say to myself, I have one goal, and that is to kill this one person, right? And I set myself that goal, rather than trying to win the game, because the game is basically over. If you give yourself at least one goal to have a little bit of fun and see how, if you can kill the enemy team ADC, or mid lane, or jungler, whoever it is, it can be still a fun game by focusing on that one goal and trying to accomplish that. And I think even though BB lost the game at the end, taking down the Caitlyn, there was probably a big cheer on comms, "We got the Caitlyn!" as the game basically ended. And that is okay. It's okay to have a little bit of fun and do something like that. Any other thoughts, Jess?
I definitely think that when Herald was spawned, I understand the, like, trying to trade a tower, but Herald was just pushing so hard that they needed to really just shut down that Herald as soon as possible and rotate up top. They lost their inhib way too early because of that, and trying to do like a tower race, especially with the Herald and them all group top. It was an easy sacrifice for them to make, to sacrifice a mid turret for 2 to 3 towers and an inhib.
Right, exactly. And that's one of those things, you gotta make those quick snap decisions. Maybe it was a bit of mixed shot calling on the team or something, where they said, you know what, we got the Vel'koz in the mid lane, we got 2 people here, we got 3 to defend the top lane, this is okay. However, the problem was they had a support, the Sona, well, there's not a whole lot that she can do, and they had the Vayne. Both of them have been shut down heavily in the, no, I think it was actually LeBlanc. That hadn't really gotten truly online yet, hadn't started being able to pop people yet in the game, and trying to defend the top lane. The Kled was fine. Those other 2, though, have been shut down pretty hard in the early game, and so you're basically taking your weak members and Kled to try to defend against 4 people pushing the top lane. At the very least, take Nocturne to the top, make it a 4v4 in the top lane instead, and leave Vayne to get the plate gold off in the mid lane turret. I could understand that situation, but both Nocturne and Vayne staying in the mid lane and didn't even secure the turret itself because they didn't have the wave there to help out. That is just not what you want to see if you're the side of BB.
Especially if it's so early in the game and you know you gotta chunk down all that plate in to get into the tower. It's just gonna take way too much time, especially if there's a Herald bashing into your base.
Absolutely. All right, well, this series has been fantastic. It's been a ton of fun. Thank you all for joining us. Jess, thank you so much for coming in and casting. It was actually a blast. And I know a couple people were commenting in the Twitch chat that you look a lot like Frascarin from the EU casting. I don't know if you take that as a compliment or not, but it's definitely a compliment. I think your hair is absolutely fantastic. And would love to have you back sometime as well.
Awesome. I would love to be involved, and it was a great experience, and I hope you have me back again. I don't know who Frascarin is, but I'll definitely have to look him up.
You don't know who Frascarin is? Oh, she's a caster that used to cast for the LCK and now casts for the EU in the Riot's LCS stuff. And she is a fantastic analyst, so I'll definitely, and caster, definitely too. But right at the moment for MSI, if you watch any of the MSI stuff, she's on the analyst desk that talks about the game's pre and post. So, but It's been a blast. We're going to go ahead and send it to rolling the credits. Thank you all so much for coming out. If you are new, feel free to drop that follow to check in with us in the future. We will be back casting games tomorrow night. Some of them will be free play games, which means anyone from Twitch can join in. Some of them, maybe, we'll get some team scrims going on. I've been talking to some people about trying to get some teams together to run some scrim games. But either way, we'll be back 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night. Hope to see you all there. Catch you later.
Awesome.